Audi. It's synonymous with style, quality and desirability, and now it's distilled its brand values into a slightly smaller package, the A1.
With prices starting from 13.5 grand, this is the cheapest way to get your hands on that rather lovely badge. But while the A1 certainly looks cool, is it good enough to tempt people away from BMW's massively popular Mini? Let's go for a spin to find out.
The thing that immediately grabs you about the A1 is that it has a big car feel to it. I mean, it's just so quiet in here. I mean, hardly any noise enters the cabin at all. You could almost be in a limousine. Also, all the controls are nice and positive. The engine, the 1.4 turbo in this car, it's really punchy. And overall, you get this feeling of solidity and security. Now, some people might find the ride a bit on the firm side, and yes, it is a bit hard. Certainly not as comfortable as a VW Polo, although to be fair, this car does have the sport suspension. But the payoff is that it goes round corners extremely well.
Overall, the A1 is very competent to drive, but it somehow lacks a certain fun factor, whereas the Mini...
Now, I know it's a bit of a cliche saying it handles and feels like a go-kart, but it really does. I mean, the lovely responsive steering, the short throw 6-speed gearbox and the lovely darty nature of this car means it's great for nipping about around town. And the sheer amount of grip you've got means that it can corner at, quite frankly, ludicrous speeds.
And this, plus the fact the chassis is just so playful, means the Mini is big on laughs.
Overall, the Mini is the kind of car that makes you come up with excuses of having to go somewhere just so you can drive it again. So then, what's my verdict? Well, you probably guessed already that I find the Mini more engaging to drive. But that doesn't mean this review is over yet, because while I'd rather drive the Mini, I'd rather own an Audi A1. And if you follow me, I'll show you why. No small car feels this upmarket inside. I mean, the A1 is just well ahead of any of its competitors. I mean, the quality of the materials is just astounding and everything. It's got a lovely feel to it. You even get a pop-up screen on every car across the entire range. I mean, by comparison, the Mini feels a little bit tacky.
That said, A1 owners will be able to personalise their cars with colour-coded air vents around. But even then, there is just something more mature about this car. For instance, the layout of all the switches and general ergonomics are just better thought out.
It's easier to get into the back of the A1 than the Mini as well. And once you're in, yeah, okay, headroom isn't great, but knee room, well, you're not going to be getting deep vein thrombosis. That's the important thing, which means this car is actually better for carrying your friends about. And then there's the boot.
With a 270 litre capacity, it's not much smaller than that of the boxy VW Polo. There's also a false boot floor to hide your valuables, and unlike with its British rival, when you fold the rear seats down, you get a totally flat road bay.
But really, the clincher for me is that, unlike the commonest ketchup Mini, you won't see an A1 on every street corner.